Lord, that's the wrong stuff up there. What's up, everybody? Shout out to the Mad Church Disease family and crew. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Mad Church Disease program. I am so honored and blessed that you are with me on tonight. We are going to have an adult conversation over here. You guys know that I have been a supporter of the Target boycott, and I'm a little annoyed, but I wanted to bring some things into context and to have a conversation tonight. I also want to just let you guys know that, there's so many things that I want to say and talk about, but I have to walk humbly with a lot of this stuff. I want you all to understand something. Um, the universe bends towards truth and justice. The universe does not bend towards lies and profiteers and people who are gaslighting and trying to use people for their own personal gain. I want you to hear me and hear me very well. We come from a long line of very strong people, and I am amazed at some of the ridiculousness that I've had to encounter over the last several months as it relates to the internet. And I just have to keep my mind and my focus on truth still matters. And I want, for those of you that follow me, that watch this channel, that understand the work that we do, I want you all to understand that the truth still matters as well. Okay. And there's a lot of people who are trying to profit off of people, trying to gaslight folks and do stuff. But I just want you all to understand, I shall not be moved like a tree planted by the rivers of water. I'm not going to be moved. So just so that you understand, we got a new video coming up here where we're going to talk about exposing corrupt church leaders. And we're going to be dealing about the dark side of having to deal with that. Now, when I say exposing, I'm talking about subjects and things that are already public, because you all know, as I have so many times before said, we do not expose people, but we will talk about things that are public. And so we're definitely going to do so. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about this Target boycott, because Jamal Bryant done confused everybody. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. Now, I'm going to make my video and I'm going to go. I don't even know how long we're going to be on tonight. We may not even make it an hour. I don't know. That's going to be on you guys. Let me see. Is this not on right? Okay, there we go. So we'll have to see how that works. But we're definitely gonna go our time, and then we'll see what happens. But shout out to all of you all tonight. Shout out to Lewis Franklin. Lewis was up in here early. Shout out to you, Lois. Lewis. Shout out to Brittany. Shout out to you, Brittany. Thank you so very much for coming in. Christine Parks, Lynn Pearson, thank you so very much for joining us. One half of the Wonder Twins. Beautiful Ashes, good to have you with me. And Tara, good to have you here with me as well. Brokenhearted, you ain't missed nothing yet. So you here. So all of you guys that are here, I appreciate all of you guys. Mel, thank you so much for coming in. If y'all could do me the favor and hit the like button. We got 61 of y'all here, so we should have at least 30 something likes. So if y'all don't mind, please hit the like button so that way we can get started. Now, let me just say something. When the Target fast, wait, I didn't do the first part. Let me do the first part. If you want to keep up with all things Mad Church Disease, you can subscribe to our newsletter. The moderators, of course, will put a link down in the description for you down below, so that way you can do that as well. And if you are supporting the Mad Church Disease channel, please feel free to do that. Now, I want to be honest with you guys. We need your support today. Y'all need to support the channel as much as you humanly possibly can. I need at least 10 of y'all to do $10, or at least 2 of y'all to do $50, and that will help us to meet our budget on today. So I need for at least 10 of y'all to do $10, and at least 2 of y'all, if y'all can, to do $50 to help out the platform. All right. So thank y'all so very much. I appreciate that. All right, moving on. All right, let's move on. Okay, so when we started this Target boycott, there were a lot of vloggers who was on the internet complaining, talking about they wasn't gonna boycott, and how dare Jamal, and these people asked people to boycott. And because Jamal is more visible in the country, I think a lot of people took on the position that Jamal Bryant was the leader of this, when this entire Target boycott was started by Black women, right? And we have to be able to acknowledge those Black women. And I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. But we have to be able to give credence to that and talk about that on a greater level. And I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to methodically sort of walk through this. But when we first started talking about this Target boycott, y'all remember, for those of you that are familiar with this channel, y'all remember there were other vloggers saying, they weren't going to boycott because they got all their candles from Target, and people saying all kind of silly stuff. But then I came out here and I said, well, as a vlogger and as a Black man, it's important for me to stand with my people and for all of us to stand together and to show some sign of unity. I don't just use my platform to talk about church related matters, but I use my platform to talk about a myriad of topics and subjects. And so it's important for me, and I want you all to understand it's important for us to be unified in this. But I don't understand. There seems to be a lot of miscommunication going on. And I think there needs to be a little bit of education going on. So let me start off by saying this. Let me educate, and then we'll talk about the rest stuff. Okay. Let's go with there were 4 things that we were trying as Black people after the death of George Floyd to have certain things done as it related to the Target boycott, right? Now, let me read before I get into this, what you guys are saying. And I appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Somebody say, hey, so glad I didn't follow those that followed this whoremongering boycott. Many companies we patrons never had. Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. I don't know whether Jamal got paid or not. I don't know, because from what I understand, Al Sharpton met with the new president of Target. That sends up a red flag for me. And I'm gonna get into it, but let me take some time here. All right, Pastor Pram. Glad you're here. Okay, so let's talk about this. I want to say this as a Black person living in America. There's a difference between Black leaders and leading Blacks. Let's get the groundwork of this established. What most of us have in our country is we have leading Blacks. We do not have Black leaders. Let me tell you the difference between leading Blacks and Black leaders. Leading Blacks are typically established or put into place by white establishment to control the narrative and to try to shape the culture and the direction of the African-American community or the Black community. That's what a leading Black will do. A leading Black will lead a boycott or lead a movement while taking backhand deals from corporations. Now, I said on my previous video, I don't mind these people making money. That's not my issue. I don't mind anybody who's leading a boycott making some type of money, because it's important. They're leaving their families, they're crisscrossing the country, they're fighting for certain things. So that part I'm okay with. So we got leading Blacks, but let me tell you what a Black leader does. A Black leader is somebody who doesn't come in on the fourth quarter and sort of try to lead a situation. They normally will start something and they will be the genesis of that. And that's what we have seen with Nakima, the leader, and I hope I'm saying her name right. Y'all know I'm horrible with names, who was one of the founders of this Target boycott. Nina Simone, Tamika Mallory, and Jamal Bryant are more well known, but it was Nakima and her organization and some of those other organizations, people who actually were in Minnesota who actually started this boycott. So let me get a couple of things established as far as what was the purpose of this boycott. Let's go here first. All right, here we go. The purpose of the boycott, number one, the demand number one was to honor the $2 billion pledge that Target made. They were asking for Target to fulfill its commitment to the Black businesses community throughout product purchases, services, as well as advertising. So I need for you all to understand something and get this revelation. Okay, this wasn't just about the DEI stuff. They made certain commitments to the Black community. They made a $2 billion pledge to buy into the Black community as far as product purchases, services, as well as advertising dollars. Now, their advertising dollars would go to Black owned businesses and Black owned advertising agencies and companies, etc. All of these digital news organizations that are now online, like Don Lemon, Roland Martin, and some of these other people, Joy Reid, and some of these other folks that are online, they were supposed to also be in the mix of that, as far as, propping up Black media and helping Black individuals go farther with that. Now, I have 101 of you guys and I have 40 likes. Can y'all please hit the like button? At least get me to 55 likes. That's a 50-50 ratio. So can y'all please hit the like button, please? I would appreciate it. So that was primarily part of the reasoning behind that. Okay, so we got to understand that. So number one was to honor the $2 billion pledge that they made and buying into product purchases, as well as advertising, as well as other types of services. So that's one thing that we need to understand. All right. So we got that. All right. So I want to set some groundwork because everybody seems to be a little confused about what we were supposed to be doing in this thing. I don't understand that. Second thing was to deposit $250 million into Black banks. We were supposed to start to seed Black banks through Target. And that was part of the agreement that Target made. And they weren't asking Target really to do anything new. They were pretty much just asking Target to agree to do what they said they were going to do beforehand, right? So that would support Black financial institutions. And by supporting Black institutions, ladies and gentlemen, that will trickle down in other places and spaces in other ways in order for us to, help the Black community and to solidify some of the things that we're doing. So the second thing, ladies and gentlemen, was to deposit $250 million in the Black banks. Was that going to be significant help to Black people in this country? Absolutely. 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 Somebody said Jamal is overstepping to be in the limelight. Let's address that in a minute. Let's come back to that. Let's address that in a minute. All right. And I appreciate you, CC. Thank you so much. All right. So thank y'all so much. Nobody knows y'all here when y'all in the bushes. I promise y'all. So y'all should hit the like button. I appreciate it because I really want to educate and we need to have a real conversation about this. Oh man, I know I'm gonna get in so much trouble though in a little while. Here we go. So you got the $250 million in the bank that these folks that's what they were supposed to be doing. That's the other part of this. Now let's go on to point number 3. So ask number 3, ladies and gentlemen, was fully restore their DEI commitments. Target should reinstate all of their programs promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. So these were the demands. So I want people to understand what the demands were. So number 1, it was to honor the $2 billion pledge that they made, right? And that was done by product purchases, business, as well as advertising dollars, because the advertising dollars for Blacks in these spaces is very, very minimal, very minimal. Number 2, it was to deposit $250 million into Black-owned banks. That was demand number 2, right? Demand number 3 was to fully restore their DEI commitments. Okay, now these are things that Target said that they were going to do before they rolled back their DEI. So we're not asking Target to do anything new. We're just asking for them to honor the commitments that they already had made. That's the major point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then the last and final thing that we asked for was a pipeline community centers at 10 HBCU schools. This would help establish retail business programs at historically Black colleges and universities. Ladies and gentlemen, these were the 4 things that were asked and were required of Target in order for us to go back into Target. Now, the question must be asked, ladies and gentlemen, did we get anything that we were requiring of these people? From my understanding, Al Sharpton has met with the new CEO of Target. We're talking about a $12 billion loss that this company has experienced so far with this Target boycott. And you all need to understand that is a significant amount of money for a company. And when I say 12 billion. That's talking that has to do with the stock situation. Okay. So they've lost a lot of money when it comes to this, which all of us should feel proud of, because we decided that we would, not go in there. And I'm still not going in there. Let me just make this announcement. I am not going back. I'm asking those of you to stand with the Black women who started this Target boycott. I am not going back. I have not been in a Target. I have no plans on going in a Target, and it is what it is. Now, for those of you that are determined to get your candles and you can't see yourself not living without Target, let me be clear. Let me be clear. Now, and here was the situation. Let's be clear on the ask/demand. And I want to reiterate this because for some odd reason, we got some people who just not clear. Number one, honor the $2 billion pledge. Number two, deposit $250 million in the Black-owned banks. Number three, fully restore the DEI commitments that they made. And And the last thing was the pipeline community centers at 10 HBCUs. That's what we asked for. Have we gotten those things, ladies and gentlemen? And if the answer to that is no, then why are we discussing going back in? Well, ladies and gentlemen, just like the Black church typically tends to do when they get involved with stuff nowadays, they just flub everything and mess everything up. One of the leading voices of this situation in this Target boycott was Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant. Why did Jamal Harrison Bryant said that he was entering into this Target boycott situation? Now, I'm going to use this for copyright reasons because we need to have some education and we want to be educated about what we're doing here. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Jamal Bryant said he got involved.
Play out in real time.
Wait.
And it dawned on I watched it play out in real time. And it dawned on me that the Black church was not a part of the equation or the conversation dealing with civic engagement.
So the whole reason why Jamal Bryant said he got involved with the Target boycott is because the Black church was non-existent in the civic engagement and the civic side of this situation. Now, I want to replay this just so that we can make sure that we understand what was being said.
I watched it play out in real time. And it dawned on me that the Black church was not a part of the equation or the conversation dealing with civic engagement.
Now, I want to say this as a commentator and as someone who talks about the Black church and has a channel that deals with the Black church. Let me just simply say this. The Black church is very minuscule a lot of times when it comes to civic engaging, especially with the new set of preachers that are coming out, right? Now, most of the older preachers understand the importance of being civically involved in their neighborhoods and campaigns and things, because those things affect the people. What's up, Dariel? But what becomes difficult to deal with and to process is that you have to understand that most Black preachers in America and the newer age preachers do not like dealing with civil issues. A lot of them, when you talk to them, they will tell you, well, God called me to preach. He didn't call me to go out here and deal with all of this civic stuff. And I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot be a man or woman of God dealing with issues in the country and not deal with civic issues. Now, I have some more video and stuff we need to go over, but it looks like we're only at 68 likes with almost 150 of y'all here. Can y'all please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen? Please hit the like button. That is the important part of this, and that's what we want to keep in mind. Can y'all please hit the like button, please? Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I got 71 of y'all to hit the like button now with almost 150. Can I get to 100 likes, please? I would really appreciate it, because I understand, 50 people normally aren't going to hit it, but can we get to 100 likes, please?
Mad Church Disease, a channel that's all about current events, news, and Christian drama. A channel that's dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. our brothers and sisters who courageously stepped outside the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to tell the truth. A channel whose goal is to help the average person understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. So like, comment, subscribe, and smash the notifications button to be a part of this channel.
All right, guys. If I can get at least 30 more of you guys to hit the like button, that would be very beneficial. Let's move on to the next part about this. The Black church is normally not very civically engaged. Now, let me tell you the dilemma that the Black church is facing today. I have said it on this channel, and I've tried to educate you guys because I'm not one of these vloggers who just talks about this stuff. This is something that I'm passionate about. And this is something that I want you guys to understand why things are happening in the United States the way that things are happening in our country, especially as it relates to people going to the institutional church. Now, I need for somebody to pray that the Lord give me some strength right now. I need some strength. Strength. Because I tell you, I'm dealing with a lot. I need some scrimp. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So let's deal with this other part of this. I've told you and showed you that the Pew Research Center talks about how the Black church and how many people are no longer going to church, and also how many people are now Black people who are now identifying as atheists, right? You cannot be an educated preacher. You cannot be an educated person that deals in church without coming to grips with some facts. And one of those facts is when the Greeks got the gospel, they turned it into a philosophy. When the Romans got it, they turned it into a government. When the Europeans got it, they turned it into a culture. But when America got it, they turned it into a business. And it is the business of the gospel, I'm sorry to say it, that is causing a lot of people and a lot of Black people in America a tremendous amount of pause when it comes to dealing with the Black church, right? So let's do this. Let's hear what Jamal Bryant says, because if y'all don't want to listen to me, maybe y'all will listen to this Oxford educated man here. Maybe because he says it, y'all agree with him.
Consequence. This is the largest demographic of Black people.
Hold on now. Wait a minute now. Remove this one. Lord.
A consequence. This is the largest demographic of Black people who don't go to church. 28%, the largest amount of Black people who self-identify as atheist, 8%. And so I wanted to drive the church to be in the center.
Now, Jamal Bryant says the whole reason why he got involved was to drive the church to the center of this, right? So if you recognize and understand that a part of your whole process was to drive people to the center of this, then you somewhat have a more of a responsibility in order to sort of handle this sort of situation, right? Now, like I said, the majority of people that have been dealing with this situation, ladies and gentlemen, have been Black women, right? And so we need to understand and recognize and respect that. Now, I want to show you a video, and this is what we're going to do our commentary on tonight. There was one of the founders of this. Actually, Nakima went on the Roland Martin program. He went on the Roland Martin program, and she had this conversation with Roland Martin. Let me bring this up here. Hopefully it don't get too bad on us, because I'm only running this one thing. So let's just have a conversation today. That's what I want to do. I want to have a conversation. We're going to share this video. All right, we're going to share this video. All right. She goes on the Roland Martin show, right? And she goes to have a conversation about this whole boycott. Now, I want y'all to understand something. I want you to hear me. I want y'all to understand the dynamic here. Before Roland interviews Nakima, he actually plays 10 minutes of this whole speech by Jamal Bryant. Now, I have often said to you guys, Roland Martin is always very favorable to black preachers. Y'all have to keep in mind his wife is a preacher, right? Roland is very favorable to a lot of black preachers. He never seems to call them out on a lot of stuff. And then when others do call them out, Roland tends to be a lot more critical of vloggers and people who speak about the stupid stuff that preachers do. Now, he was quick to rip Clarence McClendon a new one. But, you know, if you're one of these preachers that he doesn't like, then, you know, he just, you know, he goes after you. But, you know, you have to be somewhat fair and balanced in how you approach these subjects. So let's go here for just a second. I'm going to fast forward, ladies and gentlemen, to the point to where he brought Nakima on. And I want y'all to understand, before he brought Nakima on, he played the entire speech by Jamal Bryant. So he sat there and played this entire 10-minute speech of Lord, what did I say? I got so much stuff on the brain of Jamal Bryant. I got another person with a B on the brain here because I got a lot of stuff I'm working on. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And here was the interview that he when he brought Nakima up. Now, I'm going to use this for copyright reasons. And this is the purpose of this. And, you know, allowance is made for copyright. So I have to stop and start this video a lot. So don't ask me while I'm stopping and starting. This is the purpose. OK. All right. So here we go.
I confirmed that with her, and she'll be joining us on the show next week. Joining us right now is Nakima Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, co-founder of the National Target Boycott, joining us from Minneapolis. Nakima, glad to have you on the show. First off, there's been all sorts of, a lot of people don't even understand the timeline, all sorts of who's doing what. And the reality is your group called for a boycott in Target, boycott of Target. Nina Turner's group called for a boycott of Target. Both of those commenced on February 1st. And Pastor Jamal Bryant's Target fast started on March 5th, which was initially supposed to last for 40 days and then go further.
Now, I want y'all to understand something. Roland is a veteran journalist. So looking up this information for Roland is crucial to understanding the whole dynamic. He's giving you the dates. And he's trying to tell you that Nina Turner started her stuff at the same time as Nakima. Now, Nakima, I can tell, is she got a little offended by some of the moves that some of these people are making, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go here.
And so in terms of where, so talk about what has happened over the past year in terms of your organization and this boycott, and how have you been marshaling folks nationwide?
Well, first, I want to say I feel like I just watched a theatrical performance and I need a palate cleanse after what I just heard, which I do not feel is genuine based upon my own experience in dealing with Jamal Bryant. He knew full well what he was doing when he flew to the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. to call a press conference trying to end the National Target boycott. The amount of upheaval that he has caused is absolutely absurd.
And I think the amount of upheaval that he has caused is astounding. Can I say it's astounding? Because the way that when he came forward, I thought we were ending the boycott per se. And then I went to go see, well, what did we get accomplished? What did we actually do? And I gave y'all the 4 things and the 4 asks that we were supposed to be getting done. So if these 4 things have not been met, why are we ending this stuff when our demands have not been met? Okay, let's continue. We'll revisit that in a minute.
For us as a community to be dealing with, when we have shown unity and coming together and withholding our dollars from Target Corporation. Remember, a company that's based right here in Minneapolis, and all the harm that Target has done. So I am just so deeply disturbed at the actions of Jamal Bryant.
And I can't blame her. I cannot blame her.
Just this week with the foolishness of calling this boycott and calling an end to the boycott and claiming he didn't know what was happening. But from the very beginning, when I saw his attempts to co-opt the work of Black women organizers regarding this boycott, people who lived in the Twin Cities, which I specifically conveyed to him as to why this boycott was so important because of the promises that were made after the murder of George Floyd at the hands of the police. And what did he do? He gaslit me when I said, you are trying to co-opt our work. He had a publicist book him on shows like yours, CNN, The Breakfast Club, to peddle a false narrative.
So now she's giving you the back history of why she feels the way that she feels towards Jamal Bryant. She is making it very plain. Now, you all have to understand, this is also an attorney. She's also an attorney. Let's go on.
Positioning him as the leader of this boycott.
But it wasn't.
What makes it even more offensive is the fact that women are the ones who have sustained this boycott. Black women, white women, because we control the discretionary income in our households. So you just subjected me to that. I had to respond to it. I couldn't just answer your question as if that theatrical performance didn't just happen.
But but the boycott also didn't just involve him. You also had former Representative Nina Turner. You also had Tamika Mallory, co-founder of Until Freedom, and their organizations as well. And then, of course, it spread like wildfire. I remember, Target's memo that they claim was leaked drops January 24th. January 25th, Nina Turner and her organization calls for Target to put DEI back in place, or they were going to launch their boycott on February 1st. On January 29th, you posted on Instagram about your news conference and launching the boycott on February 1st.
Now he's going through all of this, who launched who and who launched what. At the end of the day, it was Black women who started this and so forth. Jamal Bryant coming out and saying something and cutting it off, to me, now this is just my opinion, is a slap in the face to Black women. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, but I just have to keep it 100. Nakima says she spoke with Jamal and told Jamal what was up. And Jamal still tried to gaslight her and then going on all of these public. And see, this is why I don't like leading Blacks. I cannot stand leading Blacks. Now, let me also add to you all, for you all. The difference between Black leaders are also this. Black leaders a lot of times are hidden in the crevices of our struggle. Y'all got to hear what I said. Hear what I just said. Get a revelation of what I said. In most cases, black leaders are hidden in the crevices of our struggle. They are hidden in the places where they, and a lot of times, cannot be seen. They're not out front. They don't have the biggest name. You have to understand what I'm saying to you all. And so when we address certain issues within the Black community, we have to understand there's a difference between leading Blacks and Black leaders. Black leaders are typically those individuals whose names you do not hear, who are typically doing the work. Now, most of you realize that I work with a nonprofit and I do a lot of nonprofit work. And one of the things that I often tell our board members, and I tell the people who are on the board, I tell them not to focus on accolades or people giving us applause, but just do the work. Because if you focus in on the work, the rest of this stuff will come. You understand what I'm saying? Well, you have to be focused on the people and not necessarily the shining lights and people calling your name. You understand what I'm saying? It is very, very interesting. Yeah. And that lady said Al Sharpton told her Jamal jumped out of the pic of the photo meeting with the board because he didn't want the other two ladies to see him. Okay, because he claimed that he didn't go. Well, Lord have mercy. See what I'm saying? Somebody, the pastor is a liar. Oh my God. These ninjas be lying. I can't take it. Let me go on. I just can't take it. Let's go on, ladies and gentlemen. These preachers be lying. Oh, my God.
And then, of course, you had local folks who were on the ground. You had pastors and churches. And then, of course, you had the contingent here in Washington, D.C. that was protesting every week outside of Target. So it wasn't.
And we are the ones who live in the place where Target is headquartered. Because if any of these people had the power to call and sustain a boycott, then they could have done it in their cities. When you have places like Walmart, Amazon, many other companies that rolled back DEI, and all these people were silent. In our town, when things happen, guess what? We're boots on the ground right away. We don't have to be online calling for a boycott because Target is headquartered here in Minneapolis. So that is what gives us the advantage in this conversation. But if this is a hometown company that made a specific pledge in the aftermath of George Floyd being killed, and the people who stood up and fought for George Floyd were the ones who declared that this boycott would happen. So
now, I need for y'all to understand, even though it seems like she's over talking him, no, she's doing what individuals who get interviewed a lot in news media, you have to do a lot of what we call filibustering. You got to filibuster in a sense, because you have to keep talking, because if you don't, you're going to end up not being able to say the things that you need to say. So she's straight filibustering. That's exactly what she's doing. God bless her.
Let's not get it twisted and bring in everybody and their grandma when you know full well that Target is headquartered here. That's why Tamika, that's why Nina, that's why Jamal had to go to Washington, D.C. to call this press conference, because they're not welcomed in Minnesota after their actions.
But Nakima, Target, but
Nakima, disrespectful to people in Minnesota who have launched and sustained this boycott along with our people around the nation. Because I got to give it up to Black folks around the nation for having self-discipline, making a conscious decision that they're not going to spend their Black dollars in Target.
Thank you, and you are welcome, Nakima, because I stand to you. I stand with you, sister. Let me make sure I put this over here so I can do this properly. Revolution, my sister. Revolution. I stand with you. I absolutely stand with you. Which one is it? This? Which one is doing this? Oh, you know what? Let me see if I'm gonna have to fix this. Do I need to bring it up? Oh, I see what happened. Oh. I'm trying to get some air in here, so I got the other thing. Y'all go ahead. Let me do this. Let me go ahead and play this for a second. Go ahead.
And calling out the BS that we all witnessed this week.
But that's my whole point.
Jamal Bryant tried to call off this boycott.
But that's
our people.
But that's my point.
Standing firm and not believing the hype from media outlets who are pretending that they don't know what the truth actually is.
But that's my point. There are people all around the country who have participated. And so even though Target is based in Minneapolis, you've had people across the country. You've had other folks in other cities.
It's a national boycott.
Right. I understand that. That's
around the country. But don't dilute the leadership of the people on the ground in Minnesota. Because you and I had a conversation about this very thing. And I told you at the time that Jamal, Tamika, and Nina are not credible.
Okay.
That is why I would not join the national coalition.
Now, did you hear what she said? Shots fired. Shots fired. If I had a horn right now, I'd be pressing. Burn, 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 burn. Let me tell you why I have such respect for this lady. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna be honest. When you are a ground roots organizer, like President Obama was, most people who've never organized anything and have never done anything like this, you don't know the immense amount of work that goes into organizing something like this, and then to have that same thing spread across the country and to galvanize a group of people to actually, follow through. You understand what I'm saying? This is a whole situation. And if it were me, if somebody came and hijacked something that I, amongst others, started, I would most certainly have an issue. Now, Nina Turner and all the rest of them and Tamika Mallory saying they're not going back into the Target. So we understand, ladies and gentlemen, there's some truth there. And these people are saying what they mean. I'm just saying. All right, now, Kimberly, didn't I tell you these black leaders are going to steal some of the money? I don't know why black people just ain't made it up in y'all mind that you understand they're going to get some of the money. Now, y'all gotta get that through y'all head and leave that where it's at. I'm just saying. They're going to steal the money. I just don't want them to steal all the money. Let's go on. I'm not saying that's what they did, but let me move on. Listen here, Kim. We know they're going to steal. We got it.
That you wanted to form in the middle of all of this.
No, well, no,
Because
you
we
and I had a
tried to
conversation.
work with them.
You and I had a
We tried,
conversation.
but we had a text or email.
Right. No.
The point is,
No, I'm gonna say what it
I
is.
said to you that they're not credible, and they're not.
No, I'm gonna say what it is.
even
Hold
for
on, one
Nina
second. One second.
even for
hold on.
Nina and
One
Tamika
second,
to
Nakima.
stand with this man in Washington trying to call for an end
Gotcha.
to the boycott. Now they're trying to save face, talking about they're still in it. We don't need you in it. Go find something else to do with your time that doesn't involve confusing Black America at a time like this. How can you stand with this man in Washington, then turn around and say, oh, I'm still boycotting? Oh,
Yeah, something's going awry here, but she's absolutely right. I'm just saying.
my organization. No, you made a choice, and so did we.
No, I'm going to tell you like this. I think she's asking for that based upon the actions of others, because to be honest with you, we're not seeing the type of actions from these folks that we should be seeing. And it has left a lot of chaos and confusion. But I hate to say this, but don't the Black church do nothing but create a lot of chaos and confusion? Ooh, did I say that out loud? And they so quick to be telling, well, God ain't the author of confusion. Well, he sure seemed to be when Jamal Bryant got involved with this whole situation. I'm just saying. Don't get mad at me, but that's the way I'm looking at it. The Black church showed up and everything went haywire.
So I'll say
I'm
this.
just
So
not here
again,
for any of it.
so for the
for it.
purpose of the audience, when there was the meeting with Reverend Al Sharpton and the CEO of Target, the former CEO of Target, and Pastor Jamal Bryant and others in April, then there was a whole lot of back and forth. That's when you and I talked, and I texted because one, I was asking what communication was taking place between y'all. That's when you said you did not want to work with them. That took place in April of 2020.
So now Roland has thrown the ball back in her court. Roland said, well, you said way back then that you didn't want to work with them. So here's the thing. And this is my question to pose to you guys, and you can answer this in the chat. Do you think Roland is trying to throw her under the bus as if she's a Black woman that no one can work with? That is the question on the table. That is the question on the table, ladies and gentlemen. Is Roland trying to throw her under the bus by painting her as a Black woman who cannot work with others? She don't play well in the sandbox with other people. Is that the kind of response that you kind of get from this or feel from this? I'm just asking. Somebody said no. Okay. Winnie says no. All right. Okay. All right. Somebody said possibly. Okay. Some people say yes. Okay. I'm just saying, it's making me think. Let's go on, ladies and gentlemen.
25. So what I am.
Yeah,
so,
and I told you why. I said
no, I got you.
Work with them, and they don't have integrity, Roland. And as you just saw this week, that is a clear example of them not having integrity.
So I'm asking you this.
Why would Tamika and Nina show up in Washington when this man's agenda was to call for an end to the boycott? Now they're backtracking, claiming the boycott is still on. We don't need this kind of confusion in our community. If they have all this organizing prowess that they claim, then prove it and show us what else you can do. We don't need their help with the Target boycott, obviously. And if the Target boycott wasn't successful, you wouldn't have a divide and conquer strategy where they're sitting here meeting with white leadership from Target, calling for an end to the boycott and nothing to show for our community.
So the question
it's a bunch of garbage.
Valid point. Why are they meeting with the CEOs of Target and excluding other organizations and other individuals? That's a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question.
So I'm gonna go back.
It's not from serious people don't do things like this.
And I'm gonna go back to the original. I'm gonna go back to the original question. You're saying the boycott is continuing. You said that. So the question is, what is
we said it from day one that it was an indefinite boycott.
And I'm asking.
It wasn't 40 days.
One second. What is your plan of action for the boycott? 2, what are your demands of Target? What are your specific demands of Target? And 3, have those been articulated to the Target leadership?
Now, I'm gonna say this.
First of all, when we sent out our press release on January,
I'm gonna say this. I don't like the way he posed that question to her as if she doesn't already know what her demands are. And what, it strikes me as him trying to catch her in a situation where she's not going to be able to articulate. Now, I gave you guys the 4 things during the Target fast that were being asked. Those things that were in the Target fast came from these other, folks boycott. That's where Jamal picked up all of this stuff from. Jamal just didn't arbitrarily say, oh, I'm going to start a Target fast. No, he went to other individuals and other organizations who were already in the movement. And then he took their principles and the things that they stood for. And then he just threw it on targetfast.org, got 300,000 people to sign up. And then he started mobilizing Black churches according to what he said. So I don't like the way Roland did that, because now all of a sudden you're putting the ball back in Tamika's hand, like she don't know with the inception of this organization, what they've been trying to accomplish. It seems a little weird to me. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
February 28th of 2025 announcing the Target boycott, we listed our demands at that time and during our press conference that happened on January 30th. And as a matter of fact, 2 of our demands wound up on the targetfast.org website because of the trickery of these people involved. So that's number one.
So 2 of their demands made it up. Now, I just went over, for those of you that are new and maybe weren't here before, I actually showed you guys what those 4 demands were. So according to Tamika, only 2 of those were the original demands that they wanted. I'm just saying. Ball of confusion. I'm sorry, that's all I can hear in my spirit. Ball of confusion. Y'all know I'm goofy. Okay, let's go on. This is crazy.
Hold on, one second. Nakima, 1 second. For the people who don't know your press release, what are those 2 demands?
Well, the first one is that the most obvious one is that Target reverses its decision to roll back diversity, equity, and inclusion. That should be obvious. The second demand is for Target to account for the $2.1 billion that it pledged in 2021 in the aftermath of the killing of George Floyd. Our third demand has to do with Target's involvement in increasing the incarceration rate in Hennepin County, Minnesota, leading to a young man by the name of Mahdi Ali, a young immigrant who at 16 years old wound up in prison for 2 murders he did not commit. Target had contributed funds to the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, and they said, we don't just want arrests, we want convictions.
Now, how about that? What is Target? What is Target Corporation going after, into legal cases like that? That deserves to also be investigated. I'm just saying, that deserves to be investigated.
And then they sent 2 forensic analysts to testify at his trial, leading to a wrongful conviction of a young man of color. This man is now over 30 years old and still in prison for murders he did not commit.
Now, I don't know about the evidence. I don't know whether or not he committed them or not, but that's what she's saying.
Target needs to make amends for all of these things. So when I'm on your show and I'm talking seriously about these issues, it's hard for me to ignore people who are unserious when it comes to accountability, when it comes to truthfulness, when it comes to holding the line for Black America.
Now, can I say something? The same way she feels about this Target boycott and this fast and all of this stuff is the same way I feel when I do vlogging when it comes to the church community. I want y'all to hear my spirit. It's hard for me to come on here some days and talk to you guys about the deception and the lies that go on with these preachers and pastors. While you have other vloggers who are unserious about this work, they don't take this work serious, who will prop up other pimp preachers and try to gaslight you into making you think certain things are not the way that they are. The reason why Tamika feels the way that she feels is because when you see people who claim to be doing the same thing you're doing or working in the same kind of space, gaslighting the public, lying to the public, misleading the public, and propping up in Tamika's case, corporations on the internet, in this sector, we're propping up pimp preachers and trying to gaslight me and trying to gaslight you all into thinking that we haven't seen what we've seen and we haven't heard what we've heard. And to be honest with you, I understand one of the reasons why she is so upset and she is so angry. And this is one of the reasons why I have, because I'm the type of work that I do outside of YouTube, I have opted to not use certain types of language because, you know, that got me into trouble last time because I don't want nobody seeing, be like, I can't believe this is how Marcellus is speaking. Listen, the reason why I ain't cut some of these ninjas out is because you do know I do other things outside of here. So I need for you all to understand something. I totally get what she's saying because a lot of these vloggers who do this are not serious. This is a hobby for them. They're not called to this. They on here so that they can raise cash apps and make fun of people and cuss folks out. I'm trying to teach people that Jesus plus nothing equals everything. And most of these preachers and these people that you are propping up and that are more notable in society are liars, deceivers. They are some of the most manipulative, just lying, backstabbing, down low kind of individuals. And what I'm trying to tell you all is you all need to start thinking about when somebody comes online and tries to make you think something. Listen, you should, in my opinion, you should want to have somebody to come on the internet and have integrity and speak to you in an integral manner. One of the reasons why Nakima is speaking the way that she's saying because Jamal Bryant isn't serious. Tamika Mallory isn't serious. These are people who have gotten into politics and they've gotten into all of this stuff and they are making backhanded deals. They're making and I'm okay with you making money behind the scenes. Just don't sell the people out. That's the point. That's the point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying.
That is what we have experienced. So even for me to have to sit there and listen to this man go on and on and on with the theatrical performance before I came on you to talk about something real is offensive. And I'm just tired of it. We have bigger fish to fry in the Black community. We're dealing with attacks by the Trump administration. We're dealing with ICE busting down people's doors. We're dealing with them trying to erase Black history. We're dealing with hundreds of thousands of Black women who have been unemployed since Trump took over again.
And you know what integrity matters? I could give you this, you know, and I understand that. But at some particular point, you have to understand, you get tired of people playing in your face. You get tired. You get tired of people lying in your face, all while calling you a liar, all while saying you don't have any integrity, all while saying you don't want to work well with others. You understand what I'm saying? You get tired of that. And I'm just here to tell you integrity matters. Some of this stuff that be going on this internet, you guys don't know. You don't know the half of it because I don't share everything. God knows I don't. Because if I did, y'all would think I was crazy and just mean. That's what y'all be like, that darn mad church disease.
And now here we are in the midst of all of this, dealing with some foolishness that didn't even have to happen. So no, we don't need Tamika or Nina involved in any further organizing around the Target boycott. They helped to make this mess. They need to take that energy and go with Jamal and do something else.
So the question is, who is allowed to participate? So if there are other organizations,
everybody else.
No, 1 second. No, 1 second. Hold on. Nakima, 1 second. If there are organizations, if they're out there who want to participate, what is the process to bring them into the fold?
They're more than welcome to participate. The process is to continue getting the word out that the boycott is still going on.
Here's my point.
Communities.
Well, let me tell y'all something about Black people, too, that annoys me when it comes to these kinds of situations. Roland says, well, okay, how do they get involved? You get involved by getting involved. Do I have to give you an ABCD? Do I have to tell you you should reach out to other organizations that are prominent, that are actually doing the work and sort of connect with them? But you also sort of found your stuff and just stay involved and get serious? How does an organization that didn't start something determine when it ends? Do you not know, as a nonprofit organizer and somebody sits on boards, I have to work with other nonprofits. When the lights went out in Puerto Rico and we had to coordinate getting solar lamps into Puerto Rico, we had to coordinate with other organizations. What would it have been like if we would have came online as an organization who had just started working and said, well, you guys don't need the help with no more with the lights with Puerto Rico. Oh, everybody, Puerto Rico's lit up. Them people down there in Puerto Rico would have thought we were crazy because we had just got into the process of helping. How do you get into the process of helping and then all of a sudden you get to call it off? You get to call it off. Makes no sense whatsoever. I'm just saying.
Well, I am an organizer, Roland. You are a media person. Okay, let's understand.
I know that. And so what I'm asking is
how many protests, demonstrations, everything else that I have successfully organized. So as an organizer, understanding decentralized leadership, it's asking people, number one, continue to spread the word in your networks and in your community that the Target boycott is still going on. And as a matter of fact, to double down. Number two, if people want to organize actions within their community, whether it's a demonstration outside of Target, in Target, letter writing, please do that.
Now she's giving you an indication of what she's asking people to do. Now listen here, Christine, I know you missed it because you was over there on the TikTok with the body rock that it won't stop. You was over there with the ticky 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 tick. That's what you was doing. You was over there. Let me continue.
People can know how to participate, and they have been. My problem comes in when you have people positioning themselves as leaders who have a completely different agenda to co-opt, to cause confusion, to call off a successful boycott. Why are you involved? You made your bed at the Washington, D.C. Press Club.
So the reason I asked the question,
Jamal Bryant.
Angie, I do believe she was the lady that actually coordinated those efforts and that boycott. Yes, I believe that was her as well. Well, and I think she is leading Integrity Matters. I mean, I think she is leading. That's just my opinion.
Okay, so the reason I asked the question,
the boycott was over.
Nakima,
so why are you continuing to be involved?
Nakima, the reason I asked the question, because you just said decentralized. And so if there is somebody else out there, another organization who decides to do it, and then all of a sudden, let's say they start taking meetings with Target. So what I'm asking is, if you're saying, hey, we're leading this boycott, we're Minneapolis based, how do you want to communicate and convey when it comes to strategy, when it comes to doing all of that with other folks who are getting involved, as opposed to them doing whatever it is they want to do? Because if that's the case, you may find yourself in the exact same situation we're in right now. So
now I agree with Roland with that. Very true. But here is the thing, because there is no manual to tell people how to get involved civically with a lot of this stuff. People tend to just do whatever it is that they want to do. And that's one of the reasons that so much confusion goes on. But see, that's the difference between being a leading Black versus a Black leader, because let me explain something to you. When you are a Black leader, you have to go, especially if you're going to lead a national boycott, you have to have, in my opinion, now this is my opinion, you've got to have certain central locations where you can send them to in their local area to get the kind of help that you need. So you create somewhat of a directory of people that you've aligned yourself with, where you can send individuals to go handle certain things. Because let me tell you something, if you work in the nonprofit space, what you will find a lot of times is that when emergencies or disasters hit, the first thing that most people want to do is give to the Red Cross and give to some of these larger organizations. And what you will find is that some of these larger organizations don't do diddly squat on the ground, right? And you will literally find that a lot of smaller organizations are the ones who are literally doing the actual work. Now, and I know that from personal experience. Most people want to run out and be talking about the Red Cross. Well, when these people houses burned down and all sorts of things. Now the Red Cross will get the television coverage because that's more notable, and most people know the name Red Cross, but the real work is actually started by people in that local area and some of those local people. It's not started by no daggum Red Cross. I'm gonna tell you that's the God's honest truth. I swear it is, y'all. I declare it is. Y'all don't know. I'm having a moment here. I had a moment. I apologize.
So how
we won't find ourselves in the exact same situation, because the vast majority of the people helping to lead in their cities actually have integrity and are operating with integrity. Did you see any of them calling a press conference in Washington, D.C. trying to end the boycott? No, what you see is collective action. People using social media to get the word out, people holding demonstrations like they've been doing in Washington, D.C. in front of Target to get the word out. People working through their networks, people sending letters to Target, writing op-eds, withholding their spending, finding other places to shop.
Here's the thing. You can't tell me that Nakima is not a well-spoken, articulate communicator of what is going on. Now, you can disagree with her quote-unquote attitude, because see, this is the other thing too. This other thing that as a Black man, I have to take a moment of pause and privilege here. We love stigmatizing Black women as always being angry and having all these attitudes and all this kind of stuff. And then a lot of times it gets perpetuated by certain Black organizations, and other people. Black people in this country have a right to be angry. And Black women have a right to be angry. And Nakima had a right to be angry with somebody coming out here. And you know why? Because Jamal had to then come back and apologize and doing a whole apology video about this whole foolishness. I'm just saying.
Even when Reverend Al Sharpton was taking people into Costco as a part of the strategy, that is not the same as what Jamal Bryant, Nina Turner, and Tamika Mallory have done. So please don't try to conflate the two.
No, actually,
I love the way she is communicating. I'm sorry, I just do.
I'm not conflating the two.
Talking about organic organizing,
right,
which is what people are doing. And some people have taken meetings with Target. And that's
shout out to Roland Martin in the interview. I'm gonna stop it right there. For those of you go over to the Roland Martin channel, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Y'all go over there and watch the rest of it, because I really felt like it was great. It was great. Let me just say this. People need to stop trying to gaslight leaders. Oh God, help me. I'm just not on YouTube talking. I want you to hear what I'm saying to you. I'm a leader. I'm a leader. I don't just lead in this space because I am one of the leaders in this space, because some of you don't know how to communicate and you don't have any original thoughts. That's why you travel around the every daggone body's program trying to pick up a point here and a point there and go back on your channel and try to pretend like you had an original thought. It's annoying and it's all get out, but I understand the space I'm in and I get it. And that might sound like an arrogant statement, but let me explain something to you. I've been doing this type of work. I've been in the church my entire life. I have been serving in the church my entire life. You're not going to gaslight me and tell me when it comes to leadership and what goes on with leadership in front of the people as well as behind the scenes. I know about bishops and preachers who lie, cheat, and steal. I know about preachers who live down low lives and all of this kind of stuff. I know about all of that. I've been in the church my whole life. There is a difference between being a leader and being a follower. Some people lead, some people follow, and then the rest of you just try to confuse the hell out of everybody else. That's typically what happens. And when it comes to this type of situation, that's exactly what happens. Now, the one thing that I missed and I didn't realize it, and this is really what happened. If y'all want to know the truth, when the targetfast.org website went up, I thought that what Tamika Mallory and these folks and some of these other folks had done was being incorporated into the Target Fast situation. According to Nakima, he left off a couple of asks that they were actually asking for, and they created a total new four things that they wanted. They took two of hers, and then the other two came from, I guess, Jamal and his crew. Weird. It's also no unity, because you need unity if you're going to do anything. That's just my opinion. And honestly, that's what most leaders and organizers will do. They will have central hubs so that when they start these types of things, that's what Dr. King did. That's how things spread across the country so fast, because you had to call in to Dr. King and the SCLC, and you had to get some information, and they would send you some information and things would work. You understand what I'm saying? You know what? Pretty much, Katrina, pretty much. That's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about it. And I'm sorry, but y'all, we're going to have to stop trying to paint black women as being angry and mad all the time. I'm over that kind of stuff. Y'all need to grow up. Grow up. Because trying to paint black women all the time as if there's some sort of anger, they got anger management issues, is annoying. That's annoying. Shout out to all of you that are supporting the Mad Church Disease channel. If you are supporting the channel tonight, please make sure you do so. We got a lot of stuff that we got to cover and pay for this week. Amen. So if you guys could please support the channel, we ask that at least 10 of y'all would do at least $10 to help us reach our goal. And I would appreciate you guys jumping on that right now, please, so we can make sure that we're hitting the goal and hitting the benchmark. Amen. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can get over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I don't know if you guys can see. Can y'all see that number? I need for y'all. I don't know if y'all can see that number, but I need for y'all. I need at least 5 more of y'all to do at least $10. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. So if I could get 5 more of you all, the Cash App information is on the screen. So if we can get at least 5 more of you all to do $10, we will have hit our goal today, and I will appreciate it. Thank you all so very much. If you're watching this replay, please make sure you do so and support the channel as well. I've also put the link down there for anybody who wants to add your thoughts on this situation. That opportunity has been there afforded to you as well. And I hadn't gone live this morning, you all, because the last couple of days I've been very, 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 very busy. And my phone is about to die. So if you are texting me or contacting me, I'm not even going to be able to see it. I don't even know how I'm going to see what you guys have done because I'm down to 1% on my phone here. But shout out to all of you that are giving. Please make sure that you guys support the channel tonight. We need at least 5 more of you all to do it. And now my phone is dying. All right. Y'all hang on 1 second so I can plug my phone in. Y'all give me 1 second. So that way I can tell you we hit the goal before we get out of here. So can y'all please support the channel? I'm going to put this up here so you can support the channel. Thank y'all so much. Those are the ways that you can give and support the channel. Hold on while I go grab my charger. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for y'all patience. I appreciate it. Shout out to all of you that are giving. Shout out to the 150 of you guys watching. We'll be back to our regular scheduled program tomorrow morning. I don't even know if I'm going to be talking about trending topics tomorrow, because what I really want to talk about tomorrow, just so you know, I want to talk about exposing corrupt church leaders and the dark side of that. And now when I talk about exposure, y'all know I ain't talking about telling people's private business. Y'all know that. When I speak about exposure, I'm talking about things that are already public. I don't tell people's private lives and people's secrets and things of that nature. I don't get down like that. And y'all know that. Okay? Y'all know that. Y'all know that. And people can try to attribute all sorts of things to our brand, but that the fact of the matter is the history of this channel speaks for itself. You lying devils. I don't know what has gone on with people. Somebody said, do I have another one? I got the mad church disease one. But you can also send it to my first and last name, I think, right? I got that old one, but you know, I normally ask for the one that's on the screen. Can you see the one on the screen, Alice? Let me see. Let me see where y'all are at. Oh Lord, I can't even get this comment up off of here. There we go. Go ahead, StreamYard. Yeah, the Cash App is right underneath this little box here. Down here, you see that down there? Screw down there. But as far as another one, I don't think so. Let me open this up. I still have my name, the one that has my name on it. Let me see if I can turn this back on. Okay, it's turning back on, y'all, because my phone died. I had to plug it up. All right, I don't see anybody coming up, so I'm definitely not going to stay on here too much longer. Shout out to all of you. Please make sure you hit the like button. If you're supporting the channel, please make sure that you do so. If you're going to do it by any other means, I appreciate that as well, and I'll call your name. I'm waiting for my phone to come back up, y'all, so I can call a couple of y'all names before we get out of here. Shout out to all of you. And you're supposed to restart your phone like once a week anyway. Do y'all restart y'all phone at least once a week? Because I know sometimes I forget to do that. I don't even do it. I don't even be doing it. I don't even do it. I know I don't do it. And thank God for these super fast chargers. Okay, I'll take a look at that, Alice. Thank you. I don't even restart my phone every week like I'm supposed to. But there's a whole lot of stuff going on in the world. Did y'all hear about this? You know, this is just random. Y'all hear about the Uber driver who stole $2 million from the COVID relief funds and bought cryptocurrency with the money he stole? Y'all hear about that? That's a trending news topic for it in the morning. But let me just tell y'all this too, by the way. Just because I put certain topics on the thumbnail in the morning, that doesn't mean we're not going to talk about other stuff, right? Because I'd be having a ton of stuff to talk about. I could sit here and talk for a whole nother hour if I really wanted to. But did y'all hear that? Y'all hear that story about the man stole all them COVID relief funds and went and bought cryptocurrency like a fool? Unless you're able to cash out on your cryptocurrency every 90 days and actually put some money in your bank account, I'm sorry. Y'all need to explain to me what's the purpose of all of that, because I don't see the purpose. I literally don't see the purpose. Cryptocurrency is monopoly money to me. I don't see. You just play with that. That ain't going nowhere. I'm just saying. Y'all need to show me where that money is going somewhere, because I ain't seen it work yet. I do realize some people, they make a lot of crypto money, and so they able to go and like take their crypto money and go buy other stuff. But nah, I don't trust this cryptocurrency business. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't. Maybe I'm old fashioned. Maybe, you know, I like holding my money in my hand and stuff like that. Maybe that's the reason, but I don't trust these people. Not when it comes to no crypto. They can crip walk and get away from me. That's what they can do. Do the crip walk. Cryptocurrency. I ain't fooling with it. All right, let me check the other one, because we might have hit where we needed to go. Hold on one second. I'm sure we did. You guys are faithful about that, and I do appreciate you guys' love and support. I really do. Hold on. All right, so we got that. Let me go over to the other one. Can I get three more of you guys to send $10, please? I need 3 more of you at this particular point. All right, let me give some shout outs. Juanetta, thank you. Lorona, thank you. Uncle Fred, thank you. Yashika, thank you. I said your name right. Darlene, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you as well. So shout out to you as well. Let me also say, Alice, shout out to you as well for your support. Appreciate you. Did I say Juanetta? I think I said Juanetta, didn't I? Didn't I say Juanetta? So shout out to you as well. So if I can get at least 3 more of you, we will have hit our budget. I'm going to go about my business because I got to go do some work. So I appreciate you. If you're watching the replay, please make sure you support the channel. Let me just say this. If you're a vlogger, can you try to have some integrity? Just some, just a little bit, an ounce. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. Shout out to all of you. Love and appreciate you guys. Shout out to all of you that are supporting the channel. I'll see y'all in the morning. Lord have mercy.
Mad Church Disease, a channel that's all about current events, news, and Christian drama. A channel that's dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Our brothers and sisters who courageously stepped outside the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to tell the truth. A channel whose goal is to help the average person understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. So like, comment, subscribe, and smash the notifications button to be a part of this channel.
Welcome to the Mad Church Disease channel, a channel dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Want to stay connected to me and the Mad Church Disease community? Well, then join our email community newsletter. Stay in the know with all the updates and fresh content that is created for this channel. It's time you join the private community for the revolutionary family, where we can talk and laugh all in a space that's safe with a no judgment zone. Connect with other members and build lasting friendships. The doors are now open. Want to stay connected and be notified each time I go live? Subscribe to the text community and be notified each time that we go live. Simply add your details for instant updates on all our lives. Are you a budding YouTuber or business professional who would like my thoughts on all things business related? Book a free 15-minute consultation where I can help with social media, YouTube, web design, and so much more. Book your consultation now and build your future. Get away from the rat race and build your business.